Happy Sunday, everyone, and what a beautiful Sunday it is. This is Jen and Steve, and today we're going to talk about Run Disney and the quickly approaching Wine and Dine half marathon weekend that we'll be running in, oh my God, later this week, like 4 days away.
Oh my gosh.
So we are participating in the 5K together. I'm doing the 10K, and then we're doing the half marathon together, and we can't wait.
This is going to be my first half marathon, and Jen has run like, 3 or 4 now.
4.
4. I stand corrected again. So she's a pro at it. We've been training really hard for the past 18 weeks, and I think we're ready. Well, at least Jen's ready. I still haven't run over 8 miles, so I'm hoping that the Disney magic will just carry me over the finish line for the remaining, 5-6 miles. Stay tuned to see if I even survive.
Oh, you will. One of the most exciting things about Run Disney races is being able to run through the parks. The last few half and full marathons ran through Magic Kingdom, right up Main Street. Oh, it was so amazing. I cried. It was so magical.
Most races run through Epcot's World Showcase. Some run through Hollywood Studios, and a couple races in the past have even gone through Animal Kingdom. And most of the long runs have a lot of highway.
But the best part are all the character stops. Yep, you can stop and take a picture with different Disney characters throughout the entire run. And forget about any PR. You don't PR in Disney, but you can PR in fun.
But the big question going into each Run Disney event are, what are the themes? What do the medals look like? And what are the race routes? Stay tuned to the end of this video to find out, and please subscribe to our channel if you aren't already, and smash a like.
So, talking about costumes, there's been a little bit of controversy over costumes that have been allowed over the past several years, yet go against the rules. And this year, Run Disney sent out an email saying that they're reinforcing some of the rules, and they just reiterated them, such as layered costumes, which are like the big ball gowns, hoop skirts, costumes that have metal components, hard edges, costumes that just don't follow the contour of the body. They're worried about costumes that can conceal weapons or prohibited items. Also in the guidelines, they mention no large props that surround the entire body, like big plastic or cardboard wearable costumes. They mention the Disney's Up House, yet if you look in some of the old Run Disney advertisements, they show one of the runners wearing that costume. So they're advertising it, yet now they're saying that it's not allowed. However, if you look back at the old guidelines for costumes, none of this has changed. It's just they're reinforcing those rules. So what kind of stinks for me is that my costume was going to be one of those ones that was a 360 completely surround. So I had to change my costume. It's still the same costume, but how I'm doing it is just a little bit different. And you'll just have to stay tuned to next week when we post our video from the 5K to see what my costume is.
The race themes are always exciting, and this year is no different. Jen and I are really excited about our costume ideas related to the themes, and as she said earlier, we had to do some minor tweaking last minute to fall within the guidelines, but we're going to have a blast and really excited for this. The 5K theme is an Alice in Wonderland theme. The 10K is Beauty and the Beast. The half marathon is Encanto, and the challenge is a Figment theme, so I can't wait to see all the costumes. The 5K race route, it's pretty similar to the past several years.
Yep.
It starts in the Epcot parking lot, makes a right and just does a lot of parking lot running, runs underneath the test track loop, and enters World Showcase right around Mexico.
Yep, where the stinky trash is.
Yeah, stinky trash, exactly. It does a full loop around World Showcase. It used to exit right before the UK and kind of do a little loop around the International Gateway, but it doesn't do that now. It just continues through the World Showcase and right up the main path towards Spaceship Earth. Does a little funky loop around the new shops where Starbucks is.
Creations.
And Creations, the new store. Goes up to Guardians, back to Test Track, and then continues on to the same route as before and finishes.
Yeah, the finish line is a little bit different than last year. The finish line is, I think, it's where I got my knee wrapped with ice, where the med tent used to be.
The med tent.
Yeah,
exactly.
well, where the med tent was for the
Yes.
half marathon. So that's where the finish line is. So
it'll be interesting to see a little bit of a change to the finish area, how they're going to set that up. The starting seems to be pretty much similar. But again, it's a very similar route.
there's one water stop on the route, and that's just one.
It's at the American Pavilion.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like there's any med tents for the 5K, which I don't think that there were last year. I don't really remember that.
And I don't know where the character stops are going to be. Probably where they typically have always been, just random.
For the 5K, I don't.
Are there any character stops?
There are
in the
character
5K?
stops in the 5K, but I really don't remember if there's any within the first mile. I kind of feel like China is the first character stop for the 5K, but God, I can't believe it's been a year since last year, and so excited for this year. So
Well, the most important character stop is your own every time you see a little green tent. So if you're tired and you're walking and you see a little green tent, start running again and smile.
And smile. And don't forget to jump. So the 10K route, I want to say, is almost identical to last year. A couple differences. But again, it starts in the reunion area in the Epcot parking lot. And then the first 3 miles or so are highway. And then mid-third mile, you enter into Hollywood Studios. And let's see. Goes through, it doesn't go through all of Hollywood Studios, but you enter back by Tower of Terror, then Sunset Boulevard, and then you run through like the main hub of Hollywood Studios, and then where does that exit out of?
I just think it's the back part of the entrance. It's the main entrance area.
So, and then you exit out of Hollywood Studios, and then you take the very narrow path back to the boardwalk. It gets a little bit congested with the crowd, and you have the people pushing on your left, because they have to hurry up and get past you. But you just have to be patient and just watch out for those that have a sign on their back that says AWD, which are the athletes with disabilities. You just want to make sure you're respectful of them and you're not pushing to get in front of them. I saw that last year, and people just need to be kind. And then you go back around the boardwalk and then enter back into Epcot. This one does not go through World Showcase. It goes back down around Future World, back to Test Track, and then back out to the same spot where the 5K finishes. And on this route, there are water stations right past mile 2. Between mile 3 and 4 when you get into Hollywood Studios. Then there's one between mile 5 and 6 when you are on your way back to Epcot. And as far as a medical tent, there is one between mile 1 and 2. And there's one between mile 3 and 4. And at the medical tents, you will find extra porta potties, and you will find ice, Vaseline for those of you that don't bring your Glide or your squirrel nut butter. You'll also be able to get Tylenol and BioFreeze. So the half marathon is a little bit different this year. So last year we had to walk about a mile to get to the start line, to get to the highway. And now the start line is actually right around the reunion area. And kind of follow a similar path as like the 5 and 10K. And we go into Epcot around mile 2 and follow the route of the World Showcase. We exit at the International Gateway and make our way to that very narrow path again. at the boardwalk, and we run down to Hollywood Studios, and then at this point we run through pretty much all of Hollywood Studios. We do Toy Story Land and Star Wars Land. So we exit out of Hollywood Studios back where Fantasmic and Tower of Terror are, and then we go on the highway, and we take, what is that right there?
I think that's Coronado Springs.
Okay, so then we go past the resort around mile 6, and then around mile 7, Blizzard Beach. Mm-hmm.
You don't actually go into the resort or the water park.
Right,
it's
just in front of it,
right in front
and
of
around it. Last year when we did the half, we went all the way down the highway and then back the same route. This is more like a loop instead. And then we keep going up the highway, and then we go back, let's see, highway for, mile 5 to 6 to 7 to 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we enter back into Epcot right around before mile 12, go through Epcot, back around Test Track, and then finish out in the same spot as the other races. And with this, we have definitely more water stops. I'm not really seeing them on the route, but usually they're about every mile to mile and a half. There's never a shortage of water or Powerade, which they've had yellow Powerade the past couple times. Usually also during the half marathon, they will have some type of fuel, usually after mile 7. Last year it was Honey Stinger gummies. I don't know what they're having this year. I did see Honey Stinger though is one of the vendors at the expo, so maybe. And then there are several med tents along the way. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 med tents. So never a shortage of BioFreeze or Vaseline to use as glide.
And that's good for me, because if you don't see me on the route for my first half marathon, I'll probably be in one of the med tents, get my knee wrapped or something.
You'll
or
be fine.
Being resuscitated. I hope they have some crash cards, because I might need them.
No, you'll be fine. So, to wrap up this video, we just want to thank everyone who's come on this journey with us from week 1 training to now, and to allow us to bring our love for running and Disney to you, our followers. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button, and please tell us about your favorite Run Disney moments in the comments, and we hope to see you at the race.
Bye-bye.